Hello everyone. This is going to be a 225 Q&A test. Defense attorney is Mr. Chin, C-H-I-N. Again, Mr. Chin, C-H-I-N. And this will just be Q&A with the defense attorney. Okay. This will be at 225. Ready? Just go ahead. You can explain what you mean. Okay, he knew that she hadn't looked at her messages, and he knew when her last call was. He could see that it was on a Monday, and he knew that it was odd, so we knew something was up, so we kept looking for her. All right, the fact that Michelle hadn't retrieved her voicemail messages since the 31st of October, obviously that worried you. That is right. Yes, it did. We knew something was wrong. Were you able, or were you, with the assistance of your sons, able to determine the last stops or the last places that Michelle was at on the 31st of October? Well, I know the boys knew where her last stops were on the 31st, but I am not sure how they would find that out. Okay, do you know if they were using her cell phone records to try to retrace her steps on the 31st of October? They were able to do that, yes. Were you told, and did you have any discussions with them that her last appointment that afternoon, that is the 31st, was with Marcus Sims, or at least with that property? Yes, I was. They told me that. Mrs. Weaver, between the 3rd of November and the 4th of November, did you work with any outside agencies in trying to search for Michelle? In other words, did you work to develop any missing person posters or anything like that? Oh, yes, we did. Can you describe that process for us, please? Well, on Thursday night, Jay Winters called us. He works with YES, which stands for Youth Educated in Safety. They helped us put together a missing person poster for Michelle. I would like to have you look at the back of that exhibit that I have given you. What number is that? It is 5. Exhibit number 5. Can you tell us what that is, please? Yes, this is Michelle's missing person poster that they made. All right, on the 3rd and especially on the 4th of November. Do you recall citizens distributing thousands of these posters throughout northeast Wyoming? That is right. Yes, we did. That was mainly what we did all day on Friday. We distributed posters all day. Do you remember what other efforts citizens, that is, family members and other citizens, engaged in on that Friday? We are talking about Friday the 4th. Well, my understanding, I stayed home with our 2 younger daughters while they would hand out the posters. They also kept their eyes open alongside of the road, you know, in case she had an accident. I believe they thought she had gone to Manton and back and possibly had an accident. They followed all of those roads and they looked in all of the ditches. All right, were you aware that law enforcement, that is, the police department, were also performing aerial or actual airplane searches? Yes, I was aware of that. Now, was Michelle on her vehicle or her vehicle found either on that Thursday or that Friday? No, she was not. Please tell us then what your family and friends of Michelle planned for Saturday the 5th of November. Michelle had a good friend named Ryan Carey, and he got a group of people together at Michelle's house, and they organized several searches in the area in Manton County where she was last seen, or her last 3 appointments on Monday. So they wanted to search those areas for sure, and they searched all along the roadways and under all of the bridges. You know, our main thought was she probably had a car accident, and I think that's what they focused on. Everything centered around that. You had mentioned that your husband and you had milked the cows, at least during one of those particular days. Could you describe whether or not that's the family business? Is that what you guys do for your jobs? Yes, that is what we do. We are dairy farmers. That is what we do for a living. On Saturday the 5th of November, were you aware of a young woman, or actually 2 young women, named Megan and Gina Strong being involved in the search efforts for Michelle? Yes, I was aware of that. Could you please tell the jury who Megan Strong is? Well, Megan Strong is my husband's first cousin. All right, and do you know where Ms. Strong and her daughter Gina were searching? Well, they had asked Ryan Carey if anybody was going to go search the Young salvage yard. He didn't think so, though, so she said her and her daughter were going to go search the junkyard. All right, I know this is very difficult for you, Ms. Weaver, but later that day, did you receive any news regarding your daughter, Michelle? Yes, Megan and Gina stopped at our house later in the day, and they told us that they had found Michelle's vehicle. Were you ever asked at all to either identify the vehicle or to further assist in the law enforcement efforts on that day? That is, on that Saturday. Yes, I was. That is correct. And what did you do on that Saturday, if you remember? Well, I think Investigator Roth actually called me up on the phone after he was in contact with Megan Strong, and he asked me if Michelle's RAV4 had an Ontario Toyota sticker on it. If she had a what? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that answer. He asked me if her RAV4 had an Ontario Toyota sticker on it. He asked about her vehicle. That was a sticker on her car. Yes, that is right. All right, what is an Ontario Toyota sticker? That is where she bought it. It is the dealership in Manton. All right, do you know if you were able to assist them in that? I didn't know for sure, but I knew Mike did, so I called Mike and asked him about it, and Mike called me back, and he said yes, it did, and then I told Mr. Roth that it did. All right, what is the next thing that you heard from the law enforcement? I'm sorry, I drew a blank. I can't think. Give me a second. Okay, how often was it that the law enforcement officers were contacting you or keeping you informed about the investigation with Michelle? It was very often and all the time. They kept us well informed. Okay, let me ask you, Mrs. Weaver, and we will get into some other easier areas, but within the next day or two, were you informed that human remains were found? Yes. Okay, so we do have a word list. We've got Michelle, capital M-I-C-H-E-L-L-E. Mrs. Weaver, capital W-E-A-V-E-R. Marcus Sims, capital M-A-R-C-U-S. Sims, capital S-I-M-M-S. Y-E-S has period. So capital Y period, capital E period, capital S period. And then that stands for Youth Educated in Safety. So capital Y-O-U-T-H, educated, capital E-D-U-C-A-T-E-D, space, in is lowercase, safety, capital S-A-F-E-T-Y. Wyoming, capital W-Y-O-M-I-N-G. Manton, capital M-A-N-T-O-N. Jay Winters, capital J-A-Y. Winters, capital W-I-N-T-E-R-S. Ryan Carey, capital R-Y-A-N. Carey, capital C-A-R-E-Y. Megan, capital M-E-G-A-N. Gina Strong, capital G-I-N-A. Strong, capital S-T-R-O-N-G. Ontario, capital O-N-T-A-R-I-O. Young Salvage Yard, capital Y-O-U-N-G. Salvage, capital S-A-L-V-A-G-E. Yard, capital Y-A-R-D. Investigator Roth, capital I-N-V-E-S-T-I-G-A-T-O-R. Roth, capital R-O-T-H. Toyota RAV4, capital T-O-Y-O-T-A. Space, RAV, capital R, capital A, capital V. No periods, just all caps. Space, and then the number 4. Okay, and that concludes our 225 Q&A test. Good luck.